Okay, so I think that if you go up to the top and hit slideshow and then hit begin, so click on over to the right, click on slideshow, and then from the start.
Okay. Oh, awesome.
Oh, you
Okay.
must, are you looking at two screens?
Uh, oh yeah, it's on my other screen. You're
Yeah,
right.
it's on your other screen. So if you stop share and then share again, and then pick the screen where it's just the presentation, then we'll see the whole thing.
Okay. Awesome.
It's all good. We family here. We're good.
Is
There
that
you
better?
go.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay, great, great. That's fantastic. It's over here, but I'm looking here. So that's awesome. Fantastic. So as Michaela said, um, if you have any questions, this is a conversation. It is not a it's a conversation. So it's not a monologue, as I always say. So if you have any questions, stop me at any time. The whole purpose of this is for me to help you guys in any way that I can. Social media is my jam. So I like to say I'm really, really good at it. And so anything that you can learn off of me, I am happy to share today. Okay. And if you have questions after today, reach out to me. Definitely reach out to me. So let me just go and move on. As I was introduced, I have over 30 years of experience. I started Advertise Out as a boutique agency. We do websites and branding, and then hashtag social buzz came about in the end of 2019, right before the pandemic. Great timing because people were really, really trying to figure out a digital footprint as we had the pandemic. Okay, as in my bio, at the end of the day, we have to ask ourselves, why do we need marketing advertising? Why do we need it? Well, if you have to, and this is, if you read any trades, if you follow any of the leaders that are advocating for marketing and advertising, you will learn that it's your job as an entrepreneur, as a business owner. It's your job to remind people over and over and over when and why and how to get a hold of you. That is your job. So advertising to a business is just like air, food, and water for us to survive. Same thing, no different. So if you don't have this in your mix, in your business mix, your business plan, it is one of the key elements that is a basis for your survival. Okay, I love to start with some facts. So I'm just going to give you guys some facts. There's over 30 million small businesses in the US, and small businesses through the government is classified as 100 employees or less. I think those numbers really need to change for today, because a business that has 100 employees, I can't relate to, because I don't have 100 employees, So small business, 30 million of them in the US. There's over 570,000 new businesses that form every month. Okay, so the numbers are really, really, really staggering. So the other numbers that you guys need to know, that within the first year, 50% of businesses will fail. So after 1 year, 50% of businesses fail, and there's lots of reasons why they fail. And, I'm of course here to tell you that if you're not marketing your business, you're going to fail. 95% of businesses will fail over 5 years. Okay. So just keep these numbers in mind, because when I started my business 7 years ago, my goal was to hit that 5-year mark. I wanted to beat the odds. And so I have, and I'm still alive and well, even after COVID. But keep in mind that these numbers are very staggering. Some of you guys are probably way beyond the 5-year mark or 1-year mark, which is awesome. Okay. Over 85% of businesses don't advertise or market their business at all. And so the number one reason, and this comes from my personal research, my personal data, when in my previous life, I worked in major media. So I talked to businesses every day, regional, national, local. And the number one business for small businesses was always, I can't afford to advertise. And that perception always was about major media, like they couldn't afford major media. And so they felt like if they couldn't afford it, they couldn't sustain it, they weren't going to do it. They're going to try to figure out other ways to get their breath out or their voice out. Okay. And a lot of that is them knocking on doors, right? Okay. So, and by the way, since this is taking up my, okay, I do see the chat. So if you guys have questions, you can raise your hand, interrupt, or just chat, just put, go use the chat bar. Don't be afraid to use the chat bar. Okay. 76% of consumers say that if you do advertise your business, I will remember you. And so, that's very loud and clear. So if the marketplace is saying, hey, if you market to me, if you, do something to attract me, I will remember you. I promise I will remember you. Okay. So the numbers and statistics are there that if you do market, people will remember you. Okay. Marketing advertising works, but there's a few caveats that you have to know and keep in mind. Is you don't need a huge budget. Absolutely. You just need a strategic plan. Consistency and fit are the key to success. So you understanding the dynamics, and we're going to go through them as we go through this. Okay. And you don't want to dilute your marketing by spreading yourself so thin that those dollars that you're putting in those different platforms are not going to make any type of impact. Okay. So keep that in mind, because I think that's a big no that a lot of entrepreneurs and business owners do, is they dilute themselves thinking, oh, I need to be everywhere, but they don't put so much of an impact that it doesn't do anything for them. And then finally, if you do have a limited budget, find a place that you can dominate. Find the place where you can really dominate it and have a bigger presence. And that's the magic to what you want to do. Okay, so let's see. Okay, so the first thing you want to think about when you think about a strategic plan is, what is the problem you're trying to solve? So you have to understand what is the problem you're trying to solve, because your product, good or service, is going to be that solution. And I love to use this analogy because attorneys do it the best. And if anybody here is an attorney, then you'll be able to relate. And I'm going to use a PI attorney as the example. So when PI attorneys market themselves, they say, if you slip and fall, call me. If you're in an accident, call me. Right? So they are telling you their solution to your problem. Okay. So keep that in mind, that you really need to understand the problem that you're trying to solve. Because if you can provide the solution to people and remind them of those problems, then you're going to have a better conversion than if you just try to sell people, if you just try to sell. Okay. So big difference in warming people up and letting them know and reminding them the problem that they might have, and that you have the solution for that. Okay. So keep in mind, always understand and know what is the problem you are trying to solve. Is there anybody that wants to share in the chat what their problem, the problem they're solving? Because that would be great to know some of you guys' category of business. Anybody brave enough? This is a great time to market yourself to this community of people that are here, especially if your if your product is something that everybody here can buy. Nobody's brave enough to put what the problem they're trying to solve. No. Need golf, we can help. I help women dealing with reproductive. Okay, love it. Okay, awesome. So Rachel, she helps women with reproductive health issues. And that's a great solution for that problem, because that problem is a big problem. So there's a big pool of people that she can target. And the reason why I say And Stephanie says, need golf, we can help. If we provide indoor golf year round, that is awesome. That is awesome. So
Hey, Kat, I'll put Joe out there on the spot because I know Joe's been a part of my stuff for a while.
yep.
Joe has a really cool, I don't know why she's not taking herself off mute, but Joe has she has a, what is it called? A weight loss program that she has. Oh, good. She's taking herself off mute.
Okay.
So Joe, you want to tell us what your thing is? But she has the problem that she solves, which is really cool, is she has developed a program for people who want to lose weight and they don't want to like stop eating
Yep.
some of the stuff that they like to eat, right? Of course, we know that, losing weight and stuff like that has a lot to do with your diet, but she has
Yep.
developed something that allows them to be able to lose weight and she has really has had really great results with family and friends, based on the program that she has created. So Joe, I'm gonna give it to you.
I don't know what more I could add. I think that was wonderful. Thank you. It's a program that I call Sustainable Eating with Scheduled Cheating. And
Yep.
you can eat what you want one day a week, but the rest of the time you're eating basically whole foods and just regular foods that you can buy at any grocery store. And there's no supplements, there's no substitutions, and there's no fasting. So you really get to eat while you're dieting, which is what I want to do.
Okay. And that's lovely. And that's awesome. I love it. I guess the thing to keep in mind as we talk about messaging is don't give too much of that away. Cause I love you're saying, you can lose weight and still eat what you want. Make sure that you keep it as that inquisitive. Okay. Cause that is awesome. I mean, what person doesn't have that problem and doesn't want to starve, I love it. That's awesome. Okay. And then Carmen says she provides a parent coaching and support system for single parents, which is another good solution. That's another great solution for problems. Okay. So to layer that, you also need to know what is your unique selling proposition. And so I'll just use Joe as an example because hers is ideal and it's very easy to identify. You lose weight, but yet you get to eat what you want. So that's a unique selling proposition for anybody who's looking to lose weight. She can now stand out from all the other diet kind of things that are out there. Okay. Anybody else want to throw out what you think is your unique selling proposition? What separates you from the competitor? So Stephanie, what separates your indoor golf from everyone else? And then Carmen, what separates you from everyone else? Like what makes you unique? Anybody, go ahead and share what you think is your unique selling proposition is.
I haven't defined just hi everyone. I haven't totally defined it, but what it is a support system for single parents that don't have a network. It's a safe space, a brave space, where we share resources and parent coaching tips to kind of keep the children out of different types of systems.
Okay. Now, is this a virtual, kind of coaching? Is it a one-on-one physical or okay?
It is. And it's, I guess the unique selling point would be, so it's an online subscription. It's a membership. It's a $10 a month subscription.
So it's affordable.
A newsletter. It's affordable. Thank you. Yeah, so it is affordable. You get one newsletter per month geared toward there's a section for the parent and then a section for the child, whatever ages you have. So it's specific, it's unique to them. Okay. And then the other piece is there's a live coaching group session with all subscribers with me and the parents only, and then one with me and my children to show how we overcame.
Okay, awesome. And then Stephanie, with your indoor golf, are these simulators? What type of simulators? Like, how is it different from the other indoor golf kind of programs that are out there?
Well, I'm lucky. I don't have any other indoor golf programs in my area. So that's my uniqueness that way. And, state of the art. So this is our third system in 8 years. So this is high definition. So I can take you around the world to golf at actual courses.
Okay.
And then be able to afford to go to.
And what is the geographic area that you're talking about?
northern Minnesota where it's 7 months of snow normally.
Okay. Okay. Awesome. Okay. So you did your homework and you found out nobody else is providing that within your geographic area, right?
Correct.
Okay. Awesome. That's fantastic. Okay. Anybody else want to share what they feel like is their unique selling proposition? Anybody else? No? Okay.
Well, for me,
Oh.
I just adding one thing, I want to start a food truck. So I guess my selling proposition would be, I want to be different from others in preparing food instead of a traditional way. I want to think outside the box. So,
Okay. But how are you going to do that?
well, I don't want to give all my secrets away.
Well, no, I don't think anybody here is going to do a food truck. So you're
Yeah,
okay.
All right. So, I mean, I want to do different kinds of food. I don't want to just do Mexican. I want to do touch German,
Yep.
Italian, maybe Greek or Asian. So 2 examples of my Mexican dishes. Anyone can do a flour tortilla or a hard shell. I already have sampled this with my culinary instructor. So I bought a waffle bowl, and it's a little mini one. And I infused some scallions and cheese, some chives. So I'm going to be serving the meat in the waffle bowl instead of a shell, a tortilla.
Okay. Okay. Awesome. Awesome. So the waffle bowl, is that edible? Is it just a waffle bowl?
No, it's my own batter. I had to.
Oh, okay. Okay. Okay.
I had to search it, and then I kind of infused some of the flavors I wanted in there. I wanted it more savory instead of a sweet waffle. So by adding scallions and chives and cheese.
Okay.
So it's different. And I sampled it, brought it over to made it for some people, and they loved the idea. And I've never seen that before. So
okay.
I kind of have this vision that it's going to take off.
Yeah. So I'm just going to feed you food for thought, Kevin. You don't need to change your dynamics or your business model, but food for thought. So a unique selling opportunity for you is this waffle bowl can actually help those that are on keto or on these diet plans that they can't have carbs, right? They want the meat and the lettuce and the veggies. So just food for thought. Okay. Because that is an opportunity. Okay. Awesome. Okay, great. Okay, the other thing that you definitely need to know, and this is again part of the marketing mix so that your marketing does work for you, not against you. You really need to define who your target audience is. And we'll talk, everybody's going to share, okay? I want everybody to share. And when I say define your target audience, okay, when I meet with clients one-on-one, I will tell you that I get clients that say, this is what I want, okay? So it's up here. This is what I want. When you define your target audience, that's who comes to you. That's your bread and butter. Okay. Businesses can have several different target audiences, but you really need to define who is the person that always is going to come to you over and over and over. Who is that person? Okay. Not who you want. It's who is your bread and butter. Who's the one that's feeding you? So when you define your target audience, what you want to do is you want to really, really create an avatar of this person or persona, whatever you want to call it, avatar, persona, whatever word you love. You want to create that kind of very drilled down type of person. And I'll just be hypothetical. And so Carmen, I'm just going to pick on you a bit and I'm going to be hypothetical. Let's say that I have this coaching system for single parents and my target audience is a single parent with kids, okay, potentially in grade school, okay, and they have issues, trouble. So they have trouble. And that parent, it's not going to be defined by an age because we have older parents now. It's going to be defined by the child's age and where they're at. Okay. So if I'm building this persona, if I'm building this avatar, I'm writing everything out, single parent with children in grade school who have problems with, focus, concentrating, or maybe they're a little disruptive and what have you. That is me building my persona. You can add geography to your persona. You can add income. You can add all kinds of other layers to that, because the more that you can drill it down, the better for you. Okay. And you can also have a second persona. So just know that, or avatar, or whatever you want to call it. Okay. But you want to know who your core one is. Who's my bread and butter? And I'll give you an example like mine. My bread and butter, my ideal client is a small business owner. So that's a solopreneur. That's a small business. That is a independent contractor business. That is a startup. Those are my ideal clients. And then I can drill down categories of business, geographic, and all these other layers. Okay. So the thing I want you to keep in mind is don't make it a very general and broad, please. The more that you can hone it down, the more that you can narrow down your ideal client, the better for you when you spend money targeting these people. So anybody want to share their target audience? Anybody? No? Everybody's going to be shy?
Extremely.
Huh.
I can go again.
Okay.
This is Carmen. I can go again. So my target audience is age 25. I'm sorry, 21 to 32.
Okay.
With school age children with an income of less than $40,000.
Okay, perfect. Awesome. Okay. And so again, the more that you can build that target audience, right, and layer them and know exactly who they are, the better for you. I'm telling you, you will eliminate spending money on campaigns or targeting an audience that you don't need. Okay. That's going to be a wasted. And I would think, Stephanie, yours is pretty easy, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, mine's super easy because I started 3 years old, and you can be 90 and come see me as long as you like to golf.
Yes, exactly. So whether you're a beginner, right, or you're an expert,
Correct.
it's all over the place. But a golfer is a golfer. And that's a great target audience, you know. Okay. So Joe says my target audience, women 35 who would like to lose between 10 to 30 pounds, women that prefer to have their flip-flops in the sand rather than tennis shoes in the gym. Yep. Okay, great. See? Okay, awesome. Because again, this is really important when you're spending any ad dollars. Okay. You really need to keep in check with who is your ideal client. Don't ever let someone try to sway you from your ideal client. This is yours. This is your baby. You know who they are. And if you don't know who your ideal client is, and there's only a few cases where you won't know, you haven't started the business yet, right? Or you did start the business and you don't have clients yet, then you're not going to know. So my suggestion to you, if that's you, go to your competitors. Go to your competitors and start scoping out who is going to them. Okay. And that's the best way to know ideal clients. Okay. Niche down, become a subject matter expert. Yep. That is awesome. And people with specific pain points will pay. Yes, they will. They will pay any amount for you to solve the problem. That is exactly right, Rachel. Okay. So when you do marketing advertising, you have to manage your expectation. So what does that mean? That means that I have expectations when I do marketing advertising. You have expectations when you do marketing advertising. Does anybody want to share what your expectation is when you spend money or take time yourself, because that time is money, to do marketing advertising? What is your expectation? I'm just curious. Anybody want to share?
I think the big thing for us, our expectation is with that investment to turn at least 1 on 5 customers over to us.
Okay. Anybody else want to share? Because she's very specific. Anybody else want to share? No? Okay. That's fine. Okay. So let's talk about expectations, because I like that Stephanie was very specific. So first thing you want to do is if you hire someone and you're spending money, you got to talk about expectation. You have to. If they don't bring it up, you better bring it up. The biggest thing, when people market and advertise and they spend money and they say it failed, the number one reason was because nobody ever talked about expectation. The business owner's expectation was way up here, and the person selling that media or whatever it is was here or lower. Okay. You got to talk about expectation, because if that marketing person that you're talking to is adept to what your expectation is, they're going to address it and they're going to let you know, can we get you there? Okay. Plus you hold accountability. Okay. There's accountability factor there. And so expectation, you got to talk about it. The other thing you have to do and keep in mind, please, 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 are those expectations realistic? Okay. So the way to assess that is, and this is how I talk to my clients, is I say, what are you currently getting now without any marketing or advertising? What are you currently getting? Okay. If they say 0, okay, they say 0, and then they want to go to 20, I'm going to be like, okay, is that realistic? Is that really, really realistic for your industry and your environment? Okay. Because you've got to manage the expectation. There's a build out that happens whenever you market and advertise. Okay. So if you've never marketed and advertised, there is an expectation that you have to build that out. Again, you have to keep in mind that marketing and advertising is a marathon. It is not a sprint. Don't ever make the assumption that if I spend this money, all kinds of people are going to be coming. The floodgates are open. Oh my God, we're going to have to close the door because we can't take any more business. Please don't ever have that expectation. And I think more businesses have that expectation that I spend this money, I better get immediate return. And if I don't, I'm going away. That's unrealistic. Okay. So please talk about expectation and then be realistic about expectation. And then whoever you're working with, you got to have that conversation. Okay. Okay. So know your numbers. So with expectation, you know your numbers. So know the dynamics behind what you're currently doing. Know the traffic that is on your website, because when you put money or time into marketing and advertising, you should see a bump. You should see growth. And if you don't see it financially through conversion with people, you better see it through the traffic on your website, traffic on your social media, whatever it is that you're driving people at. Hopefully you're driving them to your website because you own, that's your property. Okay. And not to some random form or something else that you don't own. Okay. You always want to drive people to the website, because then you can measure that, you can control that, you can understand that, and you can really analyze those numbers. Okay. So always know your analytics, always know your numbers. Okay. I love telling this story, and I'm going to tell a story. I'm going to try and tell it fast because we still got a bunch more to go through. Okay. So advertising and marketing, and at the end of the day, like I said, it's your job as a business owner, entrepreneur, startup, you know, whatever title you have, it's your job to remind people over and over and over when and why and how to get a hold of you and buy you and shop you. Okay. That's your job. And you have to do it repeatedly all the time, forever, until you want your business to keep existing. Okay. And so I like to use the McDonald's example. Is everybody familiar with McDonald's? If there's anybody who isn't, just put a thumbs down or just say no.
Who's that?
I mean, so McDonald's, and I use any example, quite frankly, of a well-branded business. Okay. But I choose to use McDonald's because babies come out of the womb asking for nuggets. That's how well-branded McDonald's brands people. Okay. It is such a well-oiled machine. It's well-branded, you know, they are just the biggest player in this fast food market. Okay. So what I want to talk about is McDonald's in the early days. McDonald's started off, they were just like you and I. They had to build their business. They had to let people know, hey, we have this hamburger that's affordable and delicious, right? So the thing I want you guys to know and understand now today. So started off small, just like us, mom and pop, but now today, this big, well-oiled machine that is just like powerful and well-branded. You will never, ever, ever see McDonald's not market themselves one day. Never will you ever see McDonald's not put money into their own brand, even today as a well-oiled machine and very popular, okay? So McDonald's knows that if they stop marketing their business and stop telling you and I to buy a Big Mac, they will lose hundreds and thousands of dollars in just one day, okay? And the reason I use this example is if a company that is a blue chip company that is a well-oiled machine is using this philosophy, why would you do anything different? You don't need to spend the money they spend because it's about consistency. They know they have to remind you and I over and over and over to buy a Big Mac, because otherwise they will lose hundreds and thousands of dollars. Does that make sense? Does that resonate with you guys?
Yep.
Okay, awesome. It's a great story to tell. Like I said, I could use any company that is a branded, well-branded company, because at the end of the day, you know, you just have to remember for yourself that it's your job to remind your marketplace over and over and over every single day when and why and how to buy you. It's your job. Okay, so social media, using social media. First off, it's free, right? Secondly, it's a lot of hard work. So if you choose to use social media, know going into it, it's going to be a lot of hard work. So I put this slide as an example of when you do social media, don't go to social media thinking, oh, this is going to be easy. Oh, I can get my sister to do it. Oh, I can get my niece to do it. You know, all of this, because if your sister or niece don't know that you have to have a budget, be consistent, have a plan, you know, all of these elements that really make for a good social media campaign, then you're going to set yourself up for failure. Okay, so keep that in mind. There's a lot that goes into social media, and this is just a tip of the iceberg. Okay. So I'm going to summarize some of the things and go through some of the points so that when we wrap up, you have enough ammo to do this on your own, or at least to have a firm ground of, are you in the right direction? Are you using social media correctly? Okay. So there is a process in place in order for you to attract a new client. It's attract, convert, close, and delight. Okay. And then I relate to each one of those below on what does that mean? Attract using hashtags, keyword, and content. Convert, use your website, use a form, use a cart, right? Close, communicate to people, follow up. So if you're a business coach, your job is to follow up, right? If you are a marketing person like me, my job is to have meetings and follow up. The close part is not going to happen automatically for some people, okay? The delight is good customer service, right? If you have good customer service, they're going to refer you, and that's going to make your job easier on the next client and the next client. Okay. So keep this process in mind because it's part of your system, and it's outside of social media. It's part of your system, period. Okay. Social media is just a big party. Okay. It is a huge party. I don't care if it's the LinkedIn party, if it's the Twitter party, if it's the Instagram party or Facebook, it is a huge party. Your job in social media, and if you think about it as a party, okay. So when we go to a party or a networking event, our job is to get people's attention so that they gravitate to us. Okay, especially our ideal clients, and they talk to us, right? They talk to us, they engage with us, and they talk to us. Social media is no different. You're putting content out there to have the same reaction. So you're in this, let's say, Facebook party, okay? And let's say that you are the golf simulator that is in Minneapolis, okay? And that's your business. When you go into this party, Okay. You want to make sure that that room knows, hey, anybody like golf? Come here, come over here, talk to me. And that's your content that's going to do that and attract them. Okay. And how you engage with them is the content that you put out there. So if you think about parties that you've been to and think about the little cliques and the little circles, right? You have some people that might be really, really serious and into a real in-depth conversation, and they're in this corner, or you might see people over here in this corner and they're laughing and giggling. And maybe that's your kind of, attitude, or you like, and you gravitate to that, right? Or maybe in the back corner, you have somebody dancing and other people dancing. You're like, oh, I want to dance too. Let me go over there. So that's what I mean by social media is a big party. And so the content is what you're putting out there to draw in the people that are your ideal customers. Okay. So keep that in mind when you think about social media. Okay. So let's make social media easy for you. The first thing you want to do is create a content calendar to make life easy. So the first thing I hear from a lot of clients is, I do my social media, I sit at my desk and I make an effort to post to social media, but I don't know what to post, Kat. What do I post? So I say, hey, create a content calendar. And you guys can all steal this. I don't care. This is a really typical content calendar. Monday, do a motivational quote. So I'm going to use Joe as an example. Your motivation would be, right? You're going to encourage someone. They had a bad weekend. They maybe fell off the wagon and they ate a lot of bad food. And on Monday, you're going to give them that encouragement, that quote, whether it's your own quote that you come up with a nice encouragement picture so they can identify with, or you're going to give them a quote from somebody else who has been challenged and they overcame it. Okay. So motivational quote, but make sure it talks to your target audience. Okay. Tuesday, you want to give a tip. So maybe for Joe in her, she could give a recipe of a certain food item that is healthy but delicious. Okay. So that could be a tip. Okay. Maybe for golfing, they could give a tip on how to swing properly or how to do a putt or how, so some kind of tip. So Tuesday's your tip. Wednesday, sell your service. If you sell your service, you're going to sell it hard. So if Joe sells her service of, sign up today, and maybe she's offering a challenge. I have this 30-day challenge that's going to launch in 2 weeks. Sign up today, get a part of this challenge. And if you sign up today, you're going to get 50% off, blah, blah, blah. So if you're going to sell, you're going to sell hard. You're going to put the link of where they need to go, and you're going to tell them exactly what you want them to do. So a selling post, you're going to be very, very to the point and tell them what to do. Okay. Thursday, let's say that you, if you do your own blogs, then share a blog. If you don't do a blog, find an article from a leader in your trade. Okay. If you can't find an article, find a video, find something where you're going to share a blog, video, article to really solidify that you're an expert in this arena, this field. Okay. And then let's say Fridays are community. At the end of the day, I will tell you Fridays are the least responsive posts. Okay. So have fun with Fridays. Have fun. A lot of our clients, we post memes, or we post a joke, or we post a funny video, or we post an event that's happening in their community. If you are a community kind of business, then you should post things going on in your community. Okay. From a community calendar. Anybody have any questions in regards to that? If you do, raise your hand or drop it in the chat. Okay. How many times a week should you post? 3 minimum. We're all time starved. 3 minimum is consistency. Ideally 5. If you can do 5, you should win an award every week. Okay. But 3 minimum, because I know people are time starved. When you create the content calendar, let's say the first week you got Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. And then let's say the next week you got Monday, Wednesday, Friday. And let's say the following week, I didn't get to Monday, so I'm going to do Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. That content calendar is in place so you have consistency of what the content is and you're not challenged at your desk. That's the whole point of the content calendar, with consistency on your calendar. Okay. So minimum of 3, don't beat yourself up. Please do not beat yourself up. Okay. Okay. So become an expert, become a resource for your product, good, or service. You've got to lead this. This is your company. You are the brand of your company. You're the face of your company. And if it's not you, maybe it's your partner, okay? Or maybe it's the dual team. But remember, you have to be an authority in order to ask people to do what you want them to do, or in order for people to respect you and come to you as the go-to, okay? You got to create that sense of authority. And so what does that mean? That means that if you're doing your own videos, if you're doing your own blogs, whatever that case may be, you got to create a sense of authority, okay? Okay, consistency on social media. Every social media has an about us on their platforms. Make sure those are consistent on all of your platforms, all of your profiles. So if there is a tagline that you're using, mine, helping businesses stand out and grow, make sure you follow it on everything, okay? You want to make sure that your brand is intact. And the example I'm showing is like, I'm showing my business page, and then I'm showing somebody else's business page that didn't have an about us, okay? The more information you can feed people on your social media, populate it, do it, because people are creatures of habit, and they want to research, and they want to look you up, and they want to check you out. So if you don't have these things for them to connect to you or to research you, you're not going to make that connection, right? You're not. So make sure you're about us and your message is consistent throughout everywhere, any place that you put it. Okay. So creating posts with a call to action, and we say that CTA. So call to action. What are some call to actions that you can utilize? You can utilize learn more, book a free consult, join today, shop now. These are call to action dialogues that you have to have. And I show some examples of selling posts where we're telling people what to do. You know, if it's a podcast, listen now. If it is a membership, join today. You got to tell people what to do. They want you to tell them what to do. Otherwise, I have seen posts from businesses where they post, hey, we do catering. If you're in need of catering, you know, we are the business for you. And then that's it. No website link, no call to action, nothing. Okay. You've really got to strategically craft your post so that you're telling your story, providing the solution, and then you're telling them how to get a hold of you. What do they need to do next? And these are all examples of call to action kind of dialogue that you should have out there. Okay. Yes. Call to action is extremely important. Okay. Sell your services. We already talked about. I'm not going to go into that. Use video. I can't tell you enough how video is king. Video is king. If you're not using video, you need to put that in your plan. It is king. And you will see that you will get more momentum from videos alone organically. Okay. Paid ads. Paid ads. If you don't have a huge following, that is probably one of the best ways to push your message out to your target audience. Paid ads. What was that?
Like happenings advertisement or something?
It should always be your selling posts. Your selling posts. Always do your selling posts. Don't do, you know, a blog or something else. Well, if it's your blog, you can, but always try to do your selling posts for your paid ad. Okay. So I used to have a client who would do the motivational quote, and she would push that one out. I'm like, why? Don't do that. Unless your motivational quote has a call to action, sure, do it, you know? Okay, other things you can do on your social media, you can have contests. You can give away product. If you give away your product, you know that that's going to be an audience that already loves you then. And you give away and you use things like, you know, share and you'll be entered to win, or if you give me a heart, you'll be entered to win, you know, or you can even put a link there, you know, go to our website and sign up for a newsletter and you'll be entered to win. And we will announce publicly the winner. You got to announce publicly. If you do a contest, You have to show proof of performance, and you do have to announce the winner and profile them and show them, because otherwise people are going to be like, yeah, whatever, we've seen and heard that. Okay. And then make sure that you respond to comments. I don't care if it's LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, you got to respond to comments. That's the whole purpose of the engagement and getting people to like and adore you. Is they're like, oh, every time I post here or every time I make a comment there, they respond immediately. They always respond to my message. I used to have a fan who, anytime I posted on anything, they would immediately respond and say, oh, great post. It was like almost like they had it on an autopilot kind of program. Those are what you want, because any engagement is good. Any engagement. Okay. Reviews is another strategy and tactic to get more visibility. And this is good for your organic SEO. So reviews on Facebook, reviews on your Google, those are both social media properties. Get a public review. Okay, let's see what else we got. Okay, optimize your LinkedIn. I could go on and on. That should just be in a story in itself. But optimize your LinkedIn. I'm just going to tell you quickly what optimize your LinkedIn means. It means have a cover, okay? Have a cover that really tells your story. Have a clear picture of you, okay? And then in this little blurb underneath your name, don't put your title. Your title's irrelevant, okay? Put the solution that you provide. You can even put the problem that you solve, okay? But put that so that it has a more optimized effect on people when they search you and they see, oh my God, they help parents that have a hard time with children, or, oh my God, they're helping people lose weight without starving or without, not eating the things they still love, so whatever it is, optimize it. Okay. There's other elements that you can optimize, but that's pretty much the really easy version there for you guys. Again, there's so much more that you can do. I could go on and on and on. This could be like an all-day session.
Yeah.
Just as a reminder, okay, marketing and advertising.
So I'll say this to you, Kat.
Yeah,
we can plan to do a part 2, because girl, you are really speaking my language over here to me. I have a business also, and I'm like, oh my God, this is gold.
Awesome. Yeah, because there are ways to learn how to get clients through LinkedIn. Okay, that's another story. Okay, but again, you guys keep in mind that not social media, but marketing and advertising is a marathon. McDonald's knows that, Nike knows that, every big brand knows that it's a marathon. There is no sprint, none. Don't think this quick fix and, oh my God, magically all these clients are going to appear. Not going to happen. You build that brand. Okay. As a business owner, you have 2 options to grow. One, you do it. You hustle, you knock on doors, pound the pavement. You do it. It's you. You're going to do it. Okay. Or 2, you hire someone to do it for you because you've exhausted yourself, or you're doing big picture stuff, whatever the case may be. What I would recommend is you do it first, because you can't train the person to do it for you if you don't do it yourself and know how it works. Okay. There is no third option. If you don't do any marketing or advertising, it's like an ATM machine. You put nothing in, you get nothing out. You're not going to get money out of an ATM machine if you don't save money, right?
Right.
Most people can relate to that. When is it time to hire someone? When your own work is consuming. You've grown, you have a lot of clients. Now it's time to delegate. It's time to delegate and have someone else do it. Okay. Or
if I can say real quick, Kat, I think this is, I appreciate you saying this, because, I do a lot of business consulting at work, and then it's also part of my business. And I think one of the things that people think that they have to do quickly is get people, right?
Yep.
Like, you have to let your business tell you when you're ready for that.
Yes,
right?
absolutely.
You have to let your business tell you. So thank you for saying that, because I think that's very beneficial for the people who are here. Is don't grow too fast, too quick.
Nope.
Don't do too much too quickly. Don't try to do all this other stuff.
No.
Thank you for saying that.
Yeah. And I've seen too many people that they have money and they start a business and they throw everything at it all at once, thinking, I'm going to do this and it's going to super launch. No, you've got to have a strategy and a plan. You got to think, what is my runway? What is my runway? Because, is it 6 months? Is it a year? Because what is my runway? I will tell you, for me as a marketer, it took me a year to get my first client. A year. Okay. And there's a lot of layers in there why, but for some people to be faster, for some people to be shorter, longer. Okay. So keep that in mind. If you ever feel like your own marketing efforts are not going anywhere, that's another thing to think about. Okay. But never wait till it's too late. Please don't do that. When do you stop? Never, unless you want to go out of business, then stop. Just stop and see and watch it go out of business. So keep that in mind. It's a marathon. And you have to do it for the life of your company. Unfortunately, you do. And you know what? I'm a great case study because I invest in my company. Okay. I invest. I would not ask anybody to do anything I wouldn't do. Nothing. And I put my money where my mouth is. If I haven't done it, I tried it and I know what works and what doesn't work. And I'm all about efficiency, not about spending money. It's about efficiency. And as Stephanie said, what is my return? Give me an idea of my return, whether that's traffic to your website, right? Or conversion. What is my return? So it's about being efficient. Thank you, everybody, for having me. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Yeah, when's part 2 starting next week?
We are going to plan on that, Kevin. I'm so glad that you got a lot out of this. This was amazing. Like, I knew that she was going to bring it. And that's why I was trying to push this out to so many people, because people don't really understand, like, marketing is literally like 85%. I used to do like a little marketing training because I absolutely love marketing. It's not my specialty, so I didn't create a business
Yeah,
out
it's
of
not
marketing,
it's
but
not mine.
right, it's not my specialty, but I can teach a little bit about it. But people really don't understand how important marketing is to the life of your business. Like, there's no such thing as I don't have any money to market. There's no such thing. Like, I don't care what you have to do. Like, you can get a free Facebook and a free Instagram account and market your butt
Right.
off, right? But you have to do something to your business. And I'm so thankful that Kat put it out there that it took her a year to get her first client rather. You're not doing anything wrong if you don't get clients right away, right? But you have to make sure that you're consistent. And I think that's a struggle for all of us, myself included, when you have a full-time job, right? So you definitely want to kind of figure out where you fit in with your business. Thank you so much, Kat. Um, this has been gold. I hope that everyone got something out of this. I know we're a minute over, but I think it's fair if anybody has something that they want to unmute themselves and say how this helped you. Do you have any last minute questions? Anything? Feel
I
free.
do. Can I be the first to take this
Sure.
microphone? All right.
Yeah.
So I was writing down stuff that she was saying, because it's just, I'm in that sponge state, just absorbing everything, soaking it all up. So, I don't have a food truck yet. I have so many connections on getting this going for food orders. Today I met with some finding a service-based kitchen, which the health department, I talked to them last week. So there's so much to do beforehand. It ain't just about making waffle bowls and putting food in it. The food part is the least of my worries. I have a menu and all that. It's all the other stuff that I'm trying to get a hold of, and I'm doing it by myself. So one of the last things she said, 2 options to grow. You either do it or you hire or pay someone. And I kind of want to learn all the areas. I'm ready for it. Otherwise you just give up and lose the determination, and you go find a job somewhere in a restaurant. But I kind of want to do this. It's been a drive. There was so much to talk about. I'm in my business plan stage right now. And, there's like categories for this, how to write it. And it's a little overwhelming.
So I will tell you, Kevin, we're working on I didn't mean to interrupt you, but I did want to put this out here.
No,
Me
go
and a
ahead.
colleague, another VBOC, we're actually working on a how to write a business plan class that we're going to do. I think we're going to do it in September. Um, so be on the lookout for that, because that's some of the feedback that I did get from some of our veteran clients, is that they definitely want to know. It's one thing to say you need a business plan, but it's another thing to actually know how to write that business plan. So
Yeah.
that's something that we're going to put in place in September. I think it's going to be like a 3 or 4 hours, like a morning type of webinar. I'm sorry, workshop. It's going to be virtual. So I'll keep you in the loop about that.
Well, I'm
How to
not,
write your business plan.
I already started. Okay.
That's
Because
fine.
speaking with Lori from WBOC,
Mhm.
so I started writing, and I was just kind of rambling stuff down. And then a few days ago, I'm like, all right, let me start a new rough draft, because I have these templates, because I mean, it should be like 20 pages. It takes 3 to 5 months to write. And I'm like, 3 to 5 months to write a business plan. So that's kind of the stage I'm at. But it's just like, okay, after the business plan, then what? Do I just go to the bank, or who's going to finance a truck? You know what I mean? I don't want to get ahead of myself.
Yeah, so we can talk about, so that's something we can talk about as well, Kevin, offline. One thing I do want you to know is your business plan doesn't have to be the traditional 40 pager. If you could put
Yeah, there's a
together a really
smaller
good,
one.
yeah, you know, but you can put together just a generic, like a 10-page business plan, as long as it's done with brevity, but it's very comprehensive, and it's
Yeah.
able to spell out your marketing plan, it's able to spell out your financial plan, and it's able to really spell out the key pieces of your business plan. You'll be fine. So don't
And
get
I think that some of
overly
the
consumed with
categories,
that.
in some of
Yeah.
those categories you just mentioned, what's your target market? And I'm like, I don't know, target people that like to eat food.
Yeah, you definitely got to be, like Kat was talking about, you definitely got to be specific in that. That's going to take some thought processing, but we can talk about that. So I want to go ahead and close it in, because we're at
Yep.
2:05 and I have a call at 2:30. But I do want to I want to say, Rachel, real quick, like I keep looking at your cute picture with the apple and the yellow background. It's giving me so much life. Like, it's so vibrant. So I just wanted to say that's so cute. But
Thank you.
anyway,
Oh,
you're
there it is.
welcome. So anyway, you all, if no one else does anyone else have anything they want to say to Catherine, or ask any questions to Kat real quick? I hope this delivered everything that you needed. Um, Thank you again, Kat, for being here. I so appreciate it. I appreciate you. Jody, did you have a question? Okay, it looks like she was off mute, so I wasn't sure if she had a question.
Yeah.
All right, so we do these every second Thursday. This one we just I wanted to be able to accommodate Catherine's schedule. So we moved it to the end of the month, but typically we do it on the second Thursday of every month. So I'm planning right now to try to get somebody for the month of August. Hopefully I can be able to pinpoint someone for the month of August. But I do want you to register for that. If you have any suggestions on what you would like to hear, send me an email and say, hey, Makiba, do you have someone who can talk about this topic? Do you have someone who can talk about that topic? And that'll help me to really understand what you all need. And then I can look for somebody who can probably, possibly be an expert in that topic. So please feel free to send me emails on what you think you might need for your business. All right. So with that said, my name is Dr. Makiba Butler, and I am the director of the VBOC here. I serve the state of Illinois, and we also serve Minnesota and Wisconsin. So I do thank everyone for being here. If you all have any additional questions for Kat, she's put her information in the chat. And please feel free to send an email to her, reach out to her. I'm sure she'll be able to help you as much as she possibly can without you becoming a client of hers, but we all know she's in business. Um, so she has put her LinkedIn information there. I just got finished following her on YouTube. So I want to connect with her on all the platforms, because I think she has very valuable information to share. So if there isn't anything else, thank you so much, Wayne and Kevin, for spending this time with us women.
Yes, thank you so
I
much
appreciate it.
again.
I hope that it was beneficial information for you. Thank you, Rachel. Thank you, Jamisha. I know some of the other people had to go ahead and get off. And again, thank you, Kat, for your time. I appreciate it. I will talk with you offline. I already sent you a message. I'll talk to you offline, my fellow Air Force sister. And I definitely wish you all the best in your business. Thank you for always being there for the VBOC at WBOC and for WBOC as well.
Yeah.
All right, you guys. Thank you all.
All right, thank
Kat,
you
do you
all.
have
All right.
anything else, Kat?
No,
else?
I'm
Okay.
a suggestion for your next training, sales.
Sales. Got it. Got it. So that's definitely a good one. Okay. So I
All
will
right,
look
see you
into
next
that.
month then.
All right. Well, you guys have a wonderful day and be safe. Take care.
All right, bye-bye.